Hey YouTube, um, I've been making these homemade HDTV antennas for family and friends, and they worked out so well. They become a really big hit, and I've been making them all the time. So I wanted to post a video on how to make a homemade HDTV antenna, which basically is a half-wave dipole antenna. And this is all the stuff I want to use, and it's very, very simple. Uh, Takes about an hour to get this thing together. Um, so here's the components we got. I got LMR 200 cable, and its core basically is an aluminum clad, copper plated, about 17 average wire gauge, and I'm going to strip that piece of copper out of here. And this piece is 24 inches, and it will be cut in half. And I'm not going to go into a lot about VHF and UHF, but let's just say that 24 inches is the wavelength right in the center of the UHF band, where most of the HD channels are. I think there's 37 of them maybe, and there's 12 VHF channels, 2 to 14, or 2 to 13, 14 to 50 something. But let's just say that a 24 inch is right in the center of the UHF band, so a half wavelength is going to put it at 300 megahertz, which is right in the center of the VHF UHF band. That's why I picked this size, and it works out well with this. This wire gauge is a little bit thicker wire than what you normally use, I guess. The thicker the wire, the better, the bigger the bandwidth that you're going to be able to pick up. So that's what we got. We're going to strip this out, get the copper out, cut it in half. I've got 2 half-inch PVC pipes that the cable is going to go into to protect it. And then I got a T where my coax cable here, this is RG6. It's 300 gigahertz rated cable. It's going to come in here, and it's going to split out, and I will solder or crimp these on, and then I want to solder it as well, just for stability. And we'll have one going out that way, one coming out this way, and they'll be encased in these 2 pipes, and this will be the feed to the TV. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and strip this cable down, get it cut, and strip off the end of this wire and dress it up. Probably strip it off to about here, and that way we'll have enough to go through here and up, through here and out, because we want to get it out to here on the end so we can solder and get the crimps on it. So I will get that done, and I'll come back to you after that. Okay, so here's what we got. Went ahead, got our wire stripped, cut it in half. There's the second piece right there. And so I've got that one end is going in here, and I've got my braid coming out the other side. So what I'm going to do go ahead and do is get this soldered on. I got me a heat brick laying here, and we'll just throw some solder on both these sides. I'm going to crimp the end on it. Go ahead and get that done after I get it soldered, and then I'll run and grab my glue gun and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I've got our coaxial end crimped on, and I've got our 2 12-inch dipoles soldered on. So what I'm going to do now is, what I like to do is take, and first off, I like to seal this up where that cable comes in so it doesn't move around, it doesn't have a chance to break the solder. And I will go ahead and fill this in just to get it centered, and then we'll come back, and then I'll go ahead and put the 2 pieces of PVC on either side, I've got some cement glue there that I'm just going to solder that with in, and then I'll put the caps on. And I'll show you what to do at the end of this to make this not rattle around inside the PVC. So I filled this in with glue. That'll keep that from shifting around a lot, keep it from moving the antenna. And I also put a little dab of hot glue right here to hold that in place so it doesn't rattle around in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the caps together, and then we're ready to take it inside, hook it up to TV, and see how many channels we get with it. So here's the finished project. So we can take it in, hook the TV, and see how many channels we get. Okay, so I've got it hooked up, and I just got it sitting in the window here, and it goes back to the TV. Kind of dark to see that, but so with my outdoor antenna, I have mounted at the very top of the house, and it's got a booster on it. I normally get about 22, maybe 24 channels sometimes. Just depends. So let's go ahead and start it. Scan the digital channels. What is it, Fender? What's out there? See anything? Anyway, so let's go back over here. So 14. So let me straighten this up. So I just set it straight up. We'll do that and see what we get. Yeah, a little better. I've got 18 channels so far. You know, this is just something you got to play with. Location. You can get a coupler and extend this out. Even put it outside because it is waterproof. All right, so we got 18 channels there. So if this was definitely up near a better location, and the higher in channels you go, the better reception is going to be, just because it's tuned at the middle of the UHF and VHF range. Yeah, there you go. So it's a simple little antenna. And like I said, you do have to work with placement, where you're going to put it, how you're going to orient it. I haven't even tried it horizontal yet. Let me try that, and then I'll see what that does. Okay, so I kind of mounted it as best I could without rigging up some sort of rig, and we're scanning. Picked up 19 channels this time. So like I said, you got to work with the position on it. Maybe get you an adapter, extend it out, hang it up as horizontal as you can. So looks like we got 19 channels. Let's see. See, that looks a lot better. There's no pixelation. Yep, looks really good. So there you go. Cheap, homemade DIY HDTV antenna. Hope this helps anybody out there who's just wanting to mess around, make their own. I think it took me a total of an hour. Cost is less than $10, probably less than $7, really, because I just had to buy the PVC, the T-junction. You could use an old piece of coax cable you got with the end on it, cut it off, and just strip you some wire off of a thick copper cable, 24 inches, and hope this helps.